My ex-mother-in-law sent her church friends to harass my daughters and me. I exposed her lies to her church community, and now she's being shamed and quietly pushed out. I'm a 46-year-old woman with two daughters, ages 17 and 15. They've always had a strained relationship with my ex-husband's parents, who are now in their late 70s. My ex-husband died in an accident last year, and since then our family has been dealing with serious fallout from the discovery that he had been cheating. He left behind two baby boys from his affair, and their mother also passed away, leaving the children orphaned. Part of the conflict came from my ex-in-laws trying to gain custody of my daughters, which we're currently fighting in court. They also tried to move in with us, which will never happen. Where we live, there's a weekend farmers market with fresh produce, eggs, meat, and local goods. That weekend was special because it was my youngest daughter's birthday. Since her party was scheduled later in the month, I gave her some spending money and let her explore the market on her own. She mostly bought chocolate and sweets. After about an hour, I started to worry. Right before I called her, she called me first, crying. She said a group of strange people had cornered her. I ran over with my older daughter and found 6 older women surrounding her, berating her for being unchristian. They accused her of refusing to spend time with her paternal grandparents and of not wanting to be a good big sister to her poor orphaned baby brothers. My daughters were the ones who discovered their father's affair and the existence of the babies, so the situation is deeply traumatic for them. They're working through it with a therapist. I stepped between the women and my daughter and told my older girl to pay for what her sister had and go wait in the car. Then I turned to the group. Some of them recognized me from when I attended my ex-in-law's church, and I absolutely lost it on them. They told me I was even worse for refusing to obey my ex-in-laws like a good Christian wife. That alone made me want to vomit. Things escalated until the shouting got loud enough that security asked all of us to leave the market. As I walked to the car, the women followed me like vultures. I managed to get my girls inside, locked the doors, and drove away. That night, after my daughters went to bed, I contacted someone from that church whom I was still on good terms with. I told him what happened, and after apologizing, he explained what was really going on. My ex-mother-in-law had posted a long, dramatic story in the church's Facebook group. She claimed my daughters and I were heartless, that we were leaving her and her husband homeless and penniless, even though they inherited my ex's personal bank account and life insurance. She accused us of stealing her grandsons and claimed my daughters refused to speak to them. The boys are actually living with distant relatives of my ex-husband. It was a full-blown sob story, straight out of a Hallmark movie. This church is extremely strict about cheating. To avoid exposing her son, my ex-mother-in-law claimed the other woman was our surrogate because I supposedly couldn't have more children. She even said I rejected the babies because they were boys, which is a disgusting accusation. Because I was in the middle of divorcing my ex when he died, I had extensive documentation, and since the divorce wasn't finalized, there were no legal consequences for releasing it. The next day, I printed everything. Photos of my ex cheating, text messages with his affair partner, messages where his parents admitted knowing about the affair, harassment during the divorce, and the worst part, messages where my ex-in-laws bullied my daughters. In one message, they called my daughters bastards and blamed them for their father's death. That message was sent just 2 days after he died. I assembled the evidence into binders designed to look like church hymn booklets. The first page showed my ex and his affair partner making out in our living room, with their names labelled underneath. I placed the binders on the table at church where extra songbooks are kept. The fallout was immediate. The gossip exploded, the pastor had to intervene, and my ex-in-laws were eventually shamed out of the church. I received apology letters for my daughters and an invitation to return for support. Later, my ex-mother-in-law posted about how abandoned she felt, wishing her great son was still alive to care for her. With what money, I have no idea, since I was the primary breadwinner. As for the will, my ex-husband had a will that named his parents as the beneficiaries. As far as I knew, he had told me he updated it and named our daughters instead. I never pushed to be included myself, because my own will already leaves everything to my girls, not to him.